Trying to eat my mic.
In the last few weeks, life got really busy.
This is actually a problem. I said I was gonna add half, but I ended up adding the whole thing. Oh well, because there's a long line for my oven today.
So we were mostly eating from our freezer, and alhamdulillah for that convenience.
I can use potatoes anytime I want. Focus, focus. That really does open up the sinuses.
But now we're running low on pretty much everything, so over the next couple of days, I'm gonna restock my freezer so that we can have dinners and breakfasts ready for about 6 weeks.
Oh my god, I think I have a cut. Ah, that burns.
This is not an easy task.
Oh, that is not good.
But I choose to do it because I love the peace of mind and the freedom that having food in my freezer gives me.
Now she's looking cute.
It'll also free up so much time for me so that I can spend it with the people that matter most to me.
This lime is older than my daughter. It looks like a lemon now, but it's still there.
Doing the things that matter most to me.
Measure with your heart.
So join me in my kitchen today, and I hope you find some inspiration to stock up your freezer as well.
About 4.5 weeks worth of breakfasts is done. Okay, I'm going to start with some light ingredient prep. I already prepped my salad for the week yesterday and the salad dressing, so I have less things to do today, which means I might actually be able to get a head start on my food prep for tomorrow. As usual, I'm going to start with a whole bunch of onions. This much should be fine. If I need more, I'll do more. To save time, I'm just going to peel it directly in the compost bin bag. Bismillah. Some of these onions have a little bit of mold in them, but that's okay. I'm just gonna soak it in vinegar to kill any mold spores, and it should be fine. It's just the outer layer, so once I peel that off, it should be fine. Which is so crazy because we only bought these last week. But I guess, I don't know, maybe I didn't store them properly. I have some double strength cleaning vinegar here. Put a little bit and then add some water. Just spraying it with a vinegar water solution. It's actually, I think, cleaning vinegar, water, and just the rind of lime. This lime is older than my daughter. But somehow it's still there. It looks like a lemon now, but it's still there. These have been soaking in vinegar for about 2 minutes. I rinsed them off a couple times, and now I'm gonna start processing them. Gonna have a bunch here so that I don't have to keep reaching over there and just speed through this because my son is about to wake up from his nap just now, and once he wakes up from his first nap, it's just the lunch rush starts within 20 minutes. So I'm trying to have some ingredients prep at least before the lunch rush. Round one. Probably. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the food. I'm gonna use up some of the onions. I don't know how much I need, I'm just gonna eyeball it. And while that's going for me, I'm gonna peel some potatoes to just have in the fridge. I started doing this probably a month ago now, and honestly it's been such a game changer because we always use potatoes at some point throughout the week, and it's so nice to have it just peeled and ready to go for when I need a quick dinner. I have a few potatoes still remaining from the last batch, so I'm gonna use this up and then open up the new bag of potatoes. The skins of the potatoes have started to get a little bit old, but still usable. This is what happens when you don't cook for like weeks on end. All your produce starts to get old. But I'm glad at least we were still eating from home. We were still eating from our freezer and not eating out all the time. But it does mean I have to get back into the groove of things and restock my freezer and my fridge so that we can get back to real life. Now to open up the new bag. Oh, these are actually bigger, so maybe less. Let me just go check on my onions. I'm just gonna add some oil now. These potatoes are very firm. I don't know if it's because my old batch of potatoes was soft that these feel extra firm, or they're just really firm potatoes. I don't know. These would make amazing fries. They wouldn't get soggy. I'm gonna get a new Ziploc bag to make sure that there's no holes in it. Put the potatoes in first and then fill it with cold water. I don't want to fill up the bag. I just want to make sure all the potatoes are covered so that they don't get brown throughout the week. And that should be good. Just do little tests. And yeah, now I'm just gonna put them in the bottom drawer of my fridge so that it's just out of the way and I can use potatoes anytime I want. Onions are pretty much done sauteing, so I'm just gonna add some garlic. I have some garlic that I froze a few months ago. Still going strong, but next time I probably will make a little bit less. It's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6. And then we're gonna go in with the berbere. I don't want to make it too spicy because I want the kids to be able to eat it as well, but just for flavor, I'm gonna add maybe 1. Let's do 2 tablespoons. I brought 3 cans just in case I needed it, but I don't think I'm gonna use all of that. I think 1 can of tomato paste should be enough. So this is 1 can. I'm gonna rinse this out later. 2, maybe I might add half of the 3rd one. Oh, wow. My brain. I said I was gonna add half, but I ended up adding the whole thing. Oh well. I am obsessed with this spatula. I got it a few months ago and now I pretty much use it every day, multiple times a day. It's so versatile, so useful. I love it. I've never been able to get all of the tomato sauce out until I got this spatula. Get yourself one of these. I'm gonna add the rest of the seasonings once I add the fool or the fava beans and just see what amount I need overall, because it's hard to eyeball something when you don't have the whole ingredient in there, all the ingredients in there. This is nice and thawed. I'm just gonna break it up some more as I add it. Maybe a little bit more. This is ground coriander that I just put in. This is kororima, one of the most important Ethiopian spices. About that much. That was probably like a teaspoon and a half. Food needs a lot of cumin, so I'm gonna do probably about 2 tablespoons of that. And then the salt. That much should be enough for now, but I may add more once I add the water. I'm gonna rinse out these cans of tomato sauce. This may not look like much right now, but one of my favorite breakfasts. Ironically though, we're having it today for dinner because we're doing a breakfast for dinner type of situation today. So, but normally we have this for breakfast. Okay, now it's gonna simmer on medium heat for about 45 minutes, I wanna say. The goal is to get the food to like break down, but not completely break down, and the tomatoes and the onions to like really cook down. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Cilantro, I knew it. I like to keep some air in the bag so that it stays nice and fluffy. Stir it one last time, maybe add a little bit more water. Okay, now we're gonna clean up in the kitchen and then start preparing for dinner. I'm gonna pack up the rest of these onions. I have some old freezer bags from my freezer. Probably better to use a spatula for this, but I don't want to dirty another utensil. My hands are clean, I'm just gonna use my hands for the rest of it. Clean this up. So whatever I use tomorrow will get used up and the rest will go in the freezer.
I finished off the fool with some Ethiopian spiced ghee and served it up for dinner. I topped it off with some lebne, which is this thick Arabic yogurt, some chopped onions, some cilantro, lime, and finally some extra virgin olive oil. It was so good.
I have outdone myself. I'll put on 2 first. This is still a little too hot for my liking. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, do something else in the meantime, then come back for it. I brought some meat upstairs from my basement freezer for tomorrow's big cooking day. We're gonna start with some fish, have some chicken breast, some chicken thighs. I have another pack of chicken thighs that I opened up previously to make some baby food. And then my daily driver, we have 3 packs of ground beef. I should have taken these out yesterday. That's what I normally do. I take them out 2 days before, but I just completely forgot. I'm gonna leave them out on the counter until I'm ready to go to bed. It gives them a little jump start for the thawing process. And then I'm gonna put it in the fridge when I go to bed, and tomorrow morning, early in the morning, I'm gonna take it out, put it back on the counter. That's the plan right now. This should last for a few breakfasts for the next week and a half, and the rest is gonna go in the freezer. We'll see if I need to add more to that. I'm just trying to make the bags even, so I don't want to add too much to one. About 4.5 weeks worth of breakfasts is done. I'll wash that later. I'm just gonna spray it with some water. I'm gonna take this to my downstairs freezer so that it can freeze just really flat. And tomorrow, once it's nice and frozen solid, I can take away my cutting board. Next, I have some fish to grill up in the oven. This is the quickest thing that I can get into the oven so that while I'm doing something else, it can finish baking, because there's a long line for my oven today. Pretty much everything I'm making requires the oven. Have some olive oil, salt and pepper, some limes. Just wash my hands. These pans are not the best quality. They scratch very easily. And once something is burnt on, it's very difficult to clean unless I use like a really rough scrubber. And at that point, it's just releasing Teflon into my food, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just use single-use aluminum foil. Is it any better? I don't know. I feel like maybe it is because I'm not scraping the aluminum foil into my food. Until I can get stainless steel pans that I can just scrub, I'm probably just going to keep lining my trays with aluminum foil. Just drizzle a little bit of oil on the bottom. These are actually a little bit bigger than the ones I normally get, even though it's the same type of fish and the same packaging. It's very interesting. We're gonna try and make it fit into here because I need my bigger pans for something else. If I have to layer the thinner parts on top of each other, that'll be fine as well. And they'll just make one big thick part. I'll just make sure to season in between them. See if I can rip it with my hands. Oh, yep, that's pretty simple. And voila, we did not need another pan. I'm just gonna wash my hands before I touch the containers. Okay, I'm gonna start with some olive oil, some salt, enough to make the fish feel like it's back in the ocean. If it is from the ocean, it's probably farmed anyway. Black pepper. Oh my god, I think I have a cut. Ah, that burns. Where did I get a cut from? I'm gonna use a glove for this part because I don't want my hands smelling like garlic. I feel like it just needs a pop of color, so I'm gonna get some parsley. It's so nice having freshly chopped, freshly chopped, but from the freezer, herbs at a moment's notice. And can you tell I love my freezer? I talk about my freezer so much because it's just so useful, especially as a busy mom with not that much time. The thing is, everyone thinks they're busy. Even before I had kids, I was like, oh, I'm busy. Then I had kids and I'm like, oh, wow, I really thought I was busy before. Make sure to get in between the layers and flip it. Add some lemon or lime slices. Now she's looking cute. And you go for about 20-25 minutes. Just gonna do a quick tidy and then start the next thing. I forgot to thaw my chicken thigh marinade, so I just have it sitting in some hot water. Don't do that, but also if you need to, do it. I have a lot of chicken to wash, so I'm gonna use one of my large stock pots. I should really invest in like a really big mixing bowl because I always run into this problem. But yeah, I'm gonna use one of my really large stock pots to just wash them all in one go instead of doing multiple rounds. Took about 5 minutes, but the chicken thigh marinade is already very soft. I just have some cleaning vinegar, table salt, add some cold water. Got my garbage bin right here so I don't walk across the kitchen with chicken juice dripping. Oh, okay. Take it easy. Just gonna wash my hands in the other sink. I'm gonna let this sit for like a couple more minutes and then change out the water, add more vinegar, add more salt, rinse it out, and then start marinating. While that's soaking, I'm gonna get my meatball recipe. I really need to invest in a recipe notebook because this is actually a problem. This is all the recipes that I use on a regular basis, so I just have them on a sticky note. This is like years worth of, like, I would be so heartbroken if I lost these. I'm trying to find my meatball recipe. Oh, I might make this actually. My daughter has been requesting this. She's at an age now where she can request like specific foods and it still shocks me, but I'm gonna make it for her. Oh, this is the chicken thigh marinade. I will write it in the description below, but if you want to take a screenshot as well. It's my cousin's recipe. Ever since she gave it to me, I've been using, that's the only chicken thigh marinade recipe I've used in years. That's not what I'm looking for now. Focus, focus. Meatballs. There it is. Found it. It has no measurements, but it has ingredients. That's one of my goals for 2026 is to get a better recipe notebook system. Okay, I've assembled the ingredients. We have some breadcrumbs, homemade breadcrumbs, some milk, Worcestershire sauce. For seasonings, we have black pepper, oregano, and salt. 3 eggs, since I'm using 3 packs of ground beef. I added a couple more cubes to the garlic from earlier. Some cheese. I just use whatever I have on hand. The recipe says to use Parmesan, but I don't always have Parmesan on hand. I rarely actually have Parmesan on hand, but I do have cheddar and mozzarella. Did I say herbs? I like to keep them in the freezer until the very last minute because they thaw pretty easily and get soggy. And the recipe says to use grated garlic, but I don't want to grate garlic right now. I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm just gonna put it in this grinder thing, strain out some of the water, and we should be good to go. Oh, that's my timer for the fish. Let's see how this turned out. Bismillah. I just know it's gonna be swimming in its own juices. Yup, it's swimming in its own juices. My oven light is currently malfunctioning, so, but yeah. It looks like the top is getting nice and crispy, but it's like it's swimming in its own juices, but it's fish, so it's okay. We're still gonna enjoy it. Okay, bismillah. Ooh-wee. That looks amazing. I'm so excited to eat that. The oven is sitting empty now, which is not good because we have a long line of things to bake in the oven. So I'm gonna pause on the meatballs, put the milk back in the fridge for now, and then I'm just gonna quickly throw something in. And the quickest thing right now would be the chicken breast. I'm just gonna rinse just the chicken breast off right now. Nope, that's the chicken thigh. Still chicken thigh. Where are all the chicken breasts? We have 3 so far. It's like fishing for chicken. I think it's just because the vinegar keeps dissolving some of the fat from the chicken thighs, and chicken thighs are very fatty. So the water just keeps turning this murky like thing. I'm gonna do 1 more round of washing and then a couple more rounds of rinsing, but that's it. Okay. I'm actually gonna use the same marinade for the chicken thigh and for the chicken breast. Normally I use a different marinade for the chicken breast, but today I'm just gonna use what's available. I'm gonna finish off this bag first, and I think it should be enough for the chicken breast. I'm gonna do my best to squeeze every last drop. Yeah, this might actually be enough. I'm gonna save the rest for the chicken thighs. Okay, now bismillah. Oh, actually, I forgot. I wanted to cut off the chicken tenders to save them to make baby food. I think I'm still gonna do it, and I'll just rinse off the marinade before it penetrates too deep. Okay. I feel like I'm doing a really bad job of cutting it all off. I'm just gonna have to wash these off really quickly before the seasoning gets too deep into the chicken. My toddler has no problem eating this, but I don't want to give it to my baby. I'm just gonna spray it with some oil just to make sure the top has a nice little crisp. Yep, as predicted, I ran out of that. Okay, I'm just gonna open a new pack. Into the oven you go at 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. We'll see. I'm trying to finish the meatballs before the chicken breast finishes cooking so that as soon as that comes out, this can go in. I'm going to start with the minced garlic. This much should be enough. Before I proceed, I'm going to puree my onions. I'm going to add a little bit of water just to help it get going. It won't matter because it's getting strained off anyway. I just need the pulp of the onions. I have a cheesecloth over here. Here comes my favorite spatula. I might actually end up doing another round. I'm gonna strain it first to see if I need more. Don't worry, I'm not gonna dump this out. I actually freeze this and I use it in soups and like whatever cooking that has onions that needs some liquid. I use it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna throw it out. This is pure flavor. I don't want to strain it out like 100% of the way because I still need some moisture. That's what it's looking like. Oh, my eyes. If you think chopping onions was bad, oh, try pureeing them. Wow, that really does open up the sinuses. Have I mentioned how obsessed with the spatula I am? Just, oh, look at all the crevices that it could go into. I'm gonna dip it back in because this time I want a little bit more moisture than this. Next is the eggs. 2, 3. Next is the Parmesan. We don't have Parmesan, so we're gonna have some marbled cheddar and regular cheddar. I might use all of this. I'm just gonna put this back in the freezers to use for when I grate cheese next time. With some parsley, cilantro. Let's add the Worcestershire sauce. Give it a little shake. Measure with your heart. Some oregano. This is Ethiopian oregano straight from back home. I absolutely love Ethiopian oregano. It's nothing like the one here. Salt. It's always difficult for me to add salt before I see everything in there, so I might add the salt afterwards. I'm gonna add some of it here and then some of it later. And of course, black pepper. Mix this up first before adding the breadcrumbs and the milk. Mix some more and then add the meat, because the breadcrumbs will get gummy if I mix them too much. So I'm mixing everything else first, about that much. Maybe some more, and then I'm gonna hydrate the breadcrumbs with some milk. Maybe a bit more. I know it's gonna soak it up. I don't want to overmix the breadcrumbs, just let it sit there for a little bit. I may add a little bit more cheese. We have about 12 minutes until the chicken breast is done, so my goal is to get 1 tray of meatballs done by the time that's done. My mom actually taught me this trick to like create 1 large foil for my extra large baking trays. We're just gonna align the center and then fold it over a few times so that it creates a nice seal and there's no juices leaking into the underside of the tray. Does it work 100% of the time? No, it depends on how well you fold it. Sometimes when I get lazy, there's still juices leaking. If I take my time and I do this well, it's like pretty effective. I'm just gonna spray it with some oil. Just wanna get into the edges a little bit. The breadcrumbs should be nice and hydrated by now, but at this stage is when you wanna be careful of like over mixing it. Now I don't wanna mix it until I add the meat to it. First pack going in. I'm gonna break up the meat first before I even touch the bottom. I'm gonna sprinkle the rest of the salt on the meat and a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. The bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. Just wanna keep it airy. I'm gonna start shaping now. I like my meatballs to be very like scraggly looking, very rustic. I like them to have like little scraggly bits all around so that it gets nice and crispy on the edges. So I just shape it very, very lightly. The breadcrumbs and the eggs should do the work of holding it together. Oh, that's the timer. Lining this took way too long and the timer went off. So I'm gonna take out the chicken breast from the oven. I am determined to make it all fit in 1 tray, so we're gonna find some space. That's how you Tetris. So that's gonna be in there for 25 minutes, 400 degrees, and then we're gonna broil it for like 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how crispy the top gets. It may not even need it. Before I move on to the next thing, which is the chicken thighs, I'm gonna get some rice going for dinner so that we can have rice with one of these proteins, and I already have my salad prepped in the freezer, so dinner is gonna come together pretty quickly. I'm gonna do about 2 cups of rice in the rice cooker and then rinse this out first. I'm gonna give it a touch of turmeric just for that pop of color. A little bit of salt. Oh, I need to refill that. I should have done this yesterday. Yesterday was my ingredient prep / refill day, but I didn't. Do as I say, not as I do. Maybe a pinch more salt. Give it a little mix. Okay, so now I'm washing and sanitizing my sink and all the dishes that I used to wash the chicken with, and it feels so good. I use vinegar to sanitize. I don't use bleach because we're not trying to perform surgery in this sink. Vinegar should do. And I use double strength cleaning vinegar, so it works fine. Side note, I just love stainless steel pots and pans. You can scrub them to death and they will only get better. Like, look at that. Better than the day I bought it. Thighs. I'm just gonna grill those up in the oven. The marinade is already made, as you saw earlier. This should not take too long at all. Only thing I'm waiting on is the oven, which is currently being used by the meatballs. And I don't want to put both of them in at the same time because that'll just create too much steam and neither one of those things will get nice and crispy. Just gonna add a little bit more. Oh, and as if on cue, my son is awake. I'm gonna clean this up as much as possible and put it back in the freezer for next time. Line it out. Just here, that's sizzle. Oh, that is not good. Sorry, don't be scared, it's okay. Okay, it's much later right now. We just finished dinner. I need this tray for the next thing that I'm about to make, so I need to sort these meatballs out. But before I did that, I just wanted to show you guys how well the seal worked. Completely dry. It's so clean. I probably don't even need to wash it. I'm checking all four corners. Perfectly clean. You don't want to remove this as soon as you take it out because it's going to stick. You need to give it a little bit of time to cool down. So even then, it just needs a little bit of attention. If I do find a better system, I will let you know in a future video, but this has been working for me for now. I just need just a little bit of scraping action. Don't use anything metal because it will rip the foil and you'll get bits of foil in your food. So I prefer using wood. See that? With just a little bit of convincing, it comes right off, but it is a bit tedious. It's worth it for the crisp that I get. I've tried using parchment paper for this and it's not nearly as crispy. It gets kind of soggy. All you need to do is just like nudge it a little bit. Et voila. Look at that crisp on the bottom. Parchment paper could never. Look at how clean that is. I'm gonna do the same thing for the chicken thighs.
At this point in the evening, my husband and my toddler went out to run some errands, so my 10-month-old got lonely and wanted mama.
He's trying to eat my mic.
I tried for a bit to work while holding him, but eventually I ended up distracting him with a water bottle, which gave me just enough time to quickly put this into the oven.
I'm gonna freeze the onion juice from earlier in these half-cup molds. Cover it up, and once it's frozen solid, I'll pop it out and put it in a Ziploc bag with all the others. And that's a wrap. Everything is done. Now I'm just gonna let everything, we ate some for dinner from the fish, so that's why it looks half empty. Everything's looking good. I'm just gonna let everything cool down completely, and right now I'm gonna head to the gym. Once I come back from the gym, I'm gonna pack it up and freeze it.
I did, in fact, not head to the gym. I made the mistake of sitting down and then all the tiredness caught up to me and I didn't have the energy to go anymore. So note to my future self, go to the gym before you lose momentum. But also, if you really feel tired, listen to your body and rest. Okay, bye.